What are you going to say?
I don't know.
We're going to say, hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to another episode of
Distance in Story Time.
Social Distance in Story Time. We're sneaking one in this morning or this afternoon or lunchtime-ish here. We've got a kid with a pretty boogery nose. I think it's, what's it called? Cold, maybe some allergies. You know, we've got some sniffles. We've got a lot of boogers. We're playing it safe. And we're sticking at home and not going and boogering on anybody but Daddy. You're leaving a lot of boogers on Daddy right now, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Let's not get any boogers on Mommy. And who are you dressed up as today?
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair.
I don't even have golden hair.
Well, kind of golden. Kind of.
Yeah, but it's not that long as Rapunzel's is.
No, not quite as long as her hair is very long, isn't it?
Yeah, and it can even pull people up.
It can. So do we have some new books to read today?
Mm-hmm.
And where did we get the books to read?
The library.
The library. All right, Booger Nose McGee. So you're going to sit here and we're going to start reading.
Here.
Oh, thank you for those boogers. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to start with A is for Autumn by Robert Maass. I haven't read this one yet. Have you read this one?
No.
A is for Autumn and...
Apple.
Of course. B is for
Bird.
birds that fly south to warmer winter homes. C is for colors as leaves begin to change. D is for daylight getting shorter as the weather gets colder. Is it kind of cold today?
Yes.
It is kind of cold. E is for exercise. You can never get too much of it. What were we doing before we were reading? Were you getting some exercise?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Biking.
Biking! Do we have a big two-wheel biker kid? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. That was a big development. F is for frost, when dew freezes and water turns to ice.
Why does water turn to ice?
When it's really cold, water turns to ice. It freezes. G is for games. Running hard keeps away the chills. H is for
Lion.
Halloween. Bring out the spooky costumes. What are you going to be for Halloween, Evie?
A octopus.
An octopus? What letter does octopus start with?
Oh.
Oh, that's right. I is for...
Cupcake.
No, ice cream, which is delicious in any season. J is for... jacket. It's getting chilly. K is for kayak, taking one last paddle for the season. L is for leaves, littering the ground with vibrant color. M is for monarch butterfly, gathering nectar before the long migration home. And where do monarch butterflies go in the winter? It also starts with M.
Flowers.
They go to Mexico. They do. They fly south to Mexico for the winter. N is for neighborhood. It's where we live. O is for owl. Owl, a bird of the night. P is for
Pumpkin.
pumpkins. They come in lots of shapes and colors. What color pumpkins do we have on our front steps? Are they white?
Yes.
And what color pumpkins do we have growing in the backyard?
Orange.
Orange. Q is for quilt, for that extra layer of warmth. R is for rake, time to gather fallen leaves before snow comes. Were you and Stasha doing that this weekend? Yeah, you were making a pile to jump in, right? Yeah. S is for scarecrow, stuffed with corn husks and standing tall. T is for Thanksgiving, when families and friends share a special meal. And I see one of my friends watching us right now, Chris, and he makes the best Thanksgiving turkey. I had to take a nap on the subway after I had Thanksgiving at his house. U is for umbrella, keeping us dry in the cool autumn rain. V is for vegetables, like gourds and squash. Although I wonder, are gourds actually fruit because they have the seeds inside?
Yes.
W is for wood, wood-burning fireplaces to keep us warm. X is for train crossing, but train crossing is spelled with a T, not an X. Letting us know when trains are near. Y is for what color?
Yellow.
Yellow, as bright as afternoon sunshine. Z is for zipper.
Zipper.
Zip up, winter's on its way. Was that a good alphabet book?
Yeah.
Okay. The next book we have is Tiny Bird, A Hummingbird's Amazing Journey by Robert Burleigh, illustrated by Wendell Minor. Did we see some hummingbirds in the backyard?
Yes.
And then one day, did I think I saw a hummingbird? And what was it? It was a moth. It was a giant moth.
Was it inside or outside?
It was outside. And it was actually trying to get some of the, I think, nectar out of the phlox flowers that we have in the backyard. Today is the day. In the yard, the last orange flowers open their petals to the slanting sun. Here you go, Booger Nose. Blow. Good blow.
Thank you, Mother Castle.
Oh, you're welcome, Rapunzel. A tiny ruby-throated hummingbird is feeding. Just 3 inches long, Tiny Bird hovers above a blossom as if hanging from an unseen thread. Whirr! Its wings flutter more than 50 times a second, so rapidly they're nearly invisible. Zip! It darts up. Zap! It flits down. Flower to flower, backward, forward, under, over, like an acrobat of the air. Radiant green feathers glimmering, ruby throat shimmering. Tiny Bird delicately dips its beak into the heart of each flower, extracting precious nectar. It will need as much food as it can gather for the hard trip ahead. The flowers are fading. Insects. I don't know if we lost video there for a second. We might have. We were getting a phone call. Autumn is coming. Born in this northeastern yard, Tiny Bird has explored every inch of its small territory, but now it feels a pull and knows it must go. It must leave this familiar place and fly to a far-off winter home. Today is the day. Away. Heading south all alone, Tiny Bird begins its amazing journey. It flies low, skimming the tops of trees. Zoom! Its wings rapidly rotating, Tiny Bird speeds along, sometimes nearly 30 miles an hour. That's as fast as a car. No one sees it gliding over farms, fields, train tracks, smokestacks, houses, and schools. But Tiny Bird sees everything. Its eyes are sharp. Swoop. Diving down, it spots a few flowers on which to feed. Jab, poke. Flicking sideways, it snatches a passing fly and even raids a spider web, more fuel for its long trip. Whoops, danger! Quickly, Tiny Bird zigzags out of the path of a hawk, reeling from the whoosh of the hawk's enormous wings. That was a close call. Day after day, farther and farther, pausing to rest here and there along the way, Tiny Bird, please don't do that, travels southward, and yet it must keep going. The most difficult part of its perilous journey is soon to come. Oops, that accidentally turned the TV on. We got it. The Gulf of Mexico lies waiting. Dark blue, deep and vast, it glitters in the sun. Tiny bird lingers for a moment near the shore, its tongue unfurling to gather flower nectar. Quicker than a blink, it nabs one last mosquito. Then, into the air, over the first pounding waves, it begins its non-stop flight of more than 20 hours. Can Tiny Bird make it?
Yeah.
Many hummingbirds never do. As far as the distant horizon, there is nothing but sky and sea. An empty expanse of water stretches in all directions. Tiny Bird makes its way, staying just inside the curves of the waves to protect itself from the onrushing wind. Oh, watch out! A fish leaps up, its jaw snapping, narrowly missing the little bird. As the setting sun tints the sky orange, dark clouds form. A sudden storm stirs up the sea. Between flashes of lightning, Tiny Bird struggles, fighting through the wind and pelting rain. Thunder crashes. Ba-boom! Slower, slower. Tiny Bird begins to falter. Its wings grow heavy as it dips ever closer to the dangerous water. Finally, the wind dies down. The storm moves on. In the darkness ahead, a small fishing boat rocks, its dim light swaying. Oh, a resting place. Tiny Bird perches lightly on the bow of the wooden boat, gathering strength. Then into the night again. Marbled clouds pass. Moonlight opens a smooth and widening path on the water. Millions of stars blanket the sky. At last, Earth's horizon glimmers with the first hint of day. Suddenly, in the dawn light, above a wave's curl, what is it? Land. Green trees and vines, rainbow-hued flowers. Tiny Bird is worn and thin after its travels, exhausted. It rests on a twig for precious seconds. Then it flits into the forest to feed on plentiful flowers and insects. Today is the day. After flying more than 1,500 miles, Tiny Bird has arrived. It has reached its winter home at last.
Hey, his belly is full, right?
His belly is full now because is he eating from a bird of paradise?
Yeah.
In the spring it will return, flying back to the same yard it left so many months earlier. But for now, Tiny Bird rests and feeds, flickering from flower to flower like an emerald spark flashing in the bright sun. Yes, today is the day. Oh, fun facts about hummingbirds. We'll only read a couple of these. There are many kinds of hummingbirds. There are many different kinds or species of hummingbirds. All of them live in the Americas, North, Central, or South. The ruby-throated hummingbird, named for the ruby red marking on the male's chest, is the most common hummingbird in the United States. The first Europeans to come to America had never seen hummingbirds, but the Spanish soon gave them a special name. Joyas voladoras, flying jewels. And they are really, really tiny. Let's see, it says, a mother hummingbird typically lays just 2 eggs, each of which is about the size of a pea. That's so small. The female hummingbird builds the nest, usually located on a tree branch and made of twigs and leaves, and the egg hatches in about 2 weeks. The mother feeds the tiny birds until they are ready to fly. Then the young birds take off, and they don't ever return to their nest. Interesting, huh? Okay, Evie, come down. I don't want you standing up there.
Does this turn on?
It does turn on, but we're not going to turn it on now because it's daytime.
Can we do this?
We can read this one. This one has sparkles on it, right?
Yeah.
The Very Fairy Princess, a spooky, sparkly Halloween. Because, is it almost Halloween time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at the end of October, and now it's the beginning of October. Well, why don't you come sit here if you want to see the pictures, okay?
Okay.
Okay. This is by Julie Andrews and Emma Walton Hamilton, illustrated by Christine Davenier. Or Davenier. Okay. Boo! Oh, bless you. Here you go. Here's a Kleenex. It's me, Jerry, the Very Fairy Princess. You might not recognize me because I'm wearing a costume, but I'm still a fairy princess underneath. You can take the princess out of her sparkles, but you can't take the sparkle out of a princess. Is that true, princess?
Yes.
Oh, that does sound true, yeah. I'm trying out costumes because I'm getting ready for a very special day next week. It's Halloween. We get to wear our costumes to school, and we're going to have a big parade with prizes before we go out trick-or-treating. I can't wait to see what all my friends will look like. The problem is, I'm having a hard time choosing a costume that works with my wings and crown. Daddy says just go as a fairy princess. That's not a costume, I say. That's what I am. Mommy says she knows I'll come up with something creative. My brother Stuart says, how about a drama queen? I choose to ignore this. Fairy princesses know how to rise above poor manners. That's good advice. I have 1,000 ideas. What does she look like here?
I don't know.
A pirate?
Yeah.
How about here?
A mermaid?
A mermaid. How about here?
I don't know.
A cowgirl?
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Maybe a Statue of Liberty?
Yes.
This looks like an Egyptian? Oh, a cheerleader? Yeah. But nothing seems quite right. What am I gonna do? Suddenly it comes to me. I'll be an angel. I'll drape a sheet over my dress, keep my wings and crown, and just add a sparkly halo. Perfect. Fairy princesses always come through in a pinch. On Halloween morning, Daddy makes pumpkin muffins. Yum! When he sees my costume, he says, there's my little angel. I have to admit, Stuart looks pretty cool as a baseball hero. Mummy straightens my halo. You've really outsparkled yourself, she says. At school, a giant bunny greets us at the door. It's Mr. Benario. The classroom looks fun and spooky, but the best part is seeing everyone's costumes. Jose is a musketeer, Cody Rose is a pop star, and Patrick is an astronaut. My best friend Delilah is a dentist. That's what she wants to be when she grows up. She also wants to remind everyone about dental hygiene. After all the Halloween candy, fairy princesses have the most thoughtful friends. Here we go. At lunchtime, Connor, who is dressed as a zombie sock monkey, well, that's creative, sits at our table. He is pounding ketchup into his hot dog when suddenly it squirts all over Delilah's dentist jacket. Now it looks more like a Halloween costume, he jokes. But it's not funny. I can't wear this in the parade, Delilah cries. It sends totally the wrong message about dentists. Because do you know some people are scared of going to the dentist?
Yeah.
They are. You're going to have your first dentist appointment soon, Evie. Is that exciting? Yeah. You love going to the doctor. Mm-hmm. Time for a fairy princess to work some magic. I look around the classroom. Then I look at my own costume. Light bulb. You can still remind everyone about dental hygiene, I say. Watch this. I take off my sheet and I turn it upside down. Step in, I tell Delilah. Then I stuff paper towels all around her, staple the edges of the sheet, and tie knots at her shoulders. I stand back to look at my work. What is she? See, I say. Now, you're a tooth. Delilah blinks away her tears. But what about your costume, she asks. It's okay, I say. I have my wings and crown. Some people think that's a costume anyway. Fairy princesses have to make sacrifices for friends in need. Wait, Delilah says. If I'm a tooth, why can't you be my tooth fairy? Brilliant! We grab construction paper, scissors, glitter, and glue. We have to work fast. The parade is about to begin. All the classes are already lining up outside. Scary organ music is coming from the loudspeaker, and our music teacher, Mr. Higginbottom, is banging a drum. Parents and teachers are...
Mr. Higginbottom, what's that kind of name?
That is a crazy name.
Yeah.
Parents and teachers...
What's Mr. Higginbottom? What's that kind of name?
What is that kind of name? Parents and teachers are standing on the path taking pictures. We join the end of the line just in time. Hand in hand, Delilah and I march with our whole school to the playground. We sparkle from the tips of our teeth to the tops of our toes. We line up on the bleachers, and Mr. Benario picks up a microphone. I've been asked to give out the prizes today, he says. Everyone here is a winner, but I think we can all agree an award for creative teamwork must go to Jerry and Delilah. The audience cheers. Mom and Dad look amazed. Stuart gives us 2 thumbs up. Even Connor does a happy dance. Mr. Benario hands us a big box of chocolates and winks. Just remember to brush afterwards, he says. As we take our bows, Delilah squeezes my hand. You may be a fairy princess, she whispers, but today you are an angel in disguise. Oh, do we have another Halloween book now?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going from princesses to queens, the Halloween Queen, by Joan Holub, illustrated by Theresa Smythe.
I actually want to sit probably right here.
Sit probably right there, that's fine. It's Halloween night, and Sam shouts from the street, hey, put on your costume. Let's go trick-or-treat.
You mean trick-or-treating?
Trick-or-treating. We ring every doorbell. We are not going to stop until we've filled our bags to the very tip-top. But one house is spooky. I try to sneak past. I don't stop. I don't look. I just run by fast. The lady who lives there adores Halloween. So that's why I call her the Halloween Queen. Each year in October, her flowers turn black. A ghost haunts her front yard and bats hang out back. Wolves howl from her rooftop. Cats hiss from her trees. A skeleton family sways in the breeze. We have some decorations that I need to get out of the car, Evie, so we can put them out, okay? Yeah. The treats she gives out are the best on our block. Still, I'm scared to go up to her door and knock. My friends are not frightened. They tap on her door. Knights, mummies, queens, vampires, and witches galore. The other kids go, 1 by 1, 2 by 2. So Sam says, I'm chicken. He says, I dare you. Would you go up to the Halloween Queen's house, Evie?
Yes.
Yes.
And I would not get scared.
Oh, because you're so brave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would ring the doorbell, and I would open the door and one right in.
One right in?
Yeah.
I take 1 step forward, 1 more after that. In no time, I'm standing on her welcome mat. My knees are a-knocking. My feet are concrete. I take a big breath, and I shout, trick or treat. The spookiest person that I've ever seen creaks open the door. It's the Halloween Queen. Her fangs are quite ghoulish. She has ruby lips. Her glittery glasses have bugs on the tips. The Halloween Queen croaks hello with a grin. Her door opens wider. She says, do come in. Before I can run off, before I can hide, she reaches out, grabs me, and scoops me inside. I peek through my fingers. I peer through the gloom. Weird music and giggles float all through the room. I shake and I shiver. Where is everyone? Then I see my friends. What is she going to say? They're all having fun. A Halloween party. Oh, I should have guessed. A Halloween Queens would, of course, be the best. We play pin the sticker on which Wanda's nose. I miss by a mile. I stick mine on her toes. Sam wraps me in paper, the toilet roll kind. We turn into mummies, and then we unwind. We paint pumpkin faces. Some smile and some frown. Mine looks like a spaceman. Sam's looks like a clown. There's plenty to snack on. It's time to dig in. I cannot decide quite where I should begin. The crabapple goblins, all dripping with goo. Green marshmallow monsters. Some sweet bubbling brew. The critter top cupcakes. A popcorn eyeball. It's too hard to choose one, so I try them. Oh. The snacks have been snacked on. The games have been played. At last, it is time for a costume parade. Soon the clock in the hall bong, bong, bongs. 13 sad bongs. The Halloween Queen croaks out 13, so long. As I look behind me, she slips out of sight. She won't be the same again after tonight. I'll see her tomorrow and more after that, but she won't be wearing her extra extra tall hat. Her teeth won't be green and her lips won't be red. Her cackling laughter won't fill me with dread. The skeleton family won't sway on her lawn. The ghosts, bats, and goblins will all be long gone. The Halloween queen will change from a creature back into Miss Green, my favorite teacher. All right, we've got one more library book to read, and it's called Can I Keep It by Lisa Jobe. Whomp. Mom, if a squirrel follows me home, can I keep it? Did the squirrel really follow him home, though?
No.
Did he trap it?
Yeah.
Yeah. A squirrel? Squirrels like to climb trees and gather acorns. If you were a squirrel, where would you want to live? Where would you want to live?
On a swing.
On a string? That's crazy.
No, on a swing.
On a swing. Would you like to live outside by the acorns?
Yes.
Yes.
And I would like to have legs that are like this. 2 legs.
Schlop. Mom, if a frog follows me home, can I keep it? Did the frog follow him home?
No.
No. Frogs like to leap high and splash in the water. If you were a frog, where would you want to live?
In the ocean?
They don't really like salt water. They're more fresh water, so maybe like a pond?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, letting him go in a pond. Clank. Mom, if a bird follows me home, can I keep it? A bird? Birds like to build nests and fly high in the sky. If you were a bird, where would you want to live?
On a swing.
Is your answer going to be a swing for everything? Where are these birds living?
In a nest.
In a nest. And where is that nest?
In a tree.
In a tree.
And I would like to swing so far and tip down.
Oh, is that what you like to do when you're on the swing?
Yeah.
Cat! Chasing a mouse. If I were a stray cat with a crooked tail, where would I want to live? Here, with a boy like me. Oh, that's an animal that he can maybe keep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he can keep it, right?
I think it goes up. I think he can keep it. All right. Come here. Should we say bye to everyone? What do we say at the end?
Bye. Thanks for now. This story time.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Rapunzel and Mother Gothel say, oh, thank you so much for joining us, right?
Yes.
Yes, is that my Mother Gothel voice?
Yeah.
Yes, have you been making me talk like Mother Gothel all morning?
Yes.
Yes, you have. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back sometime, who knows when, next time we have some new books.
Tell me, will you make your Mother Gothel voice, please?
Oh, all right. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back at some point. I may or may not be talking like Mother Gothel. Is that all right, Rapunzel?
Yes.
Yes. Bye-bye.